Okay. I've got my monitor on, so hopefully I'm not showing up twice. Actually, it's kind of driving me crazy, so I think I'm going to turn it off. 1 second. Okay. No more monitor. Hopefully it's still coming through on the stream. And, I guess I'm just going to start. So I haven't ever done this before, and I'm hoping it all goes okay. I've done some tests. It looks like it's going to be fine. I think my laptop can handle this. But we're going to knit a sock. At least one, so help me God. If we're lucky, we'll knit a whole pair. But that's, bump the camera. Fingers crossed. Because if something's not working right, I won't be able to knit a whole pair of socks. And I'm not even in the right mode for... I'm getting ahead of myself. It's not time to cast on yet. I have to switch my needle selection. I've done the best that I can with regards to the camera angle, but I can't guarantee you'll be able to see much of anything. It's just kind of the nature of knitting with the ribber on. There's not really a lot to see. All the action happens like right in here, which is a teeny tiny little slit. Like you can barely fit a credit card in there. Like a little itty bitty slit. But it's something to do. And I gotta make sure I'm in full pitch. No, half pitch. I don't know what I'm talking about. That was wrong. I want that. That's the selection I need. Okay. That should be good. For the cast on, I don't know if anybody that actually knows knitting is going to tune in. Knitting machines specifically. I'm doing a 2x1. No I'm not. I did a 2x2 on accident. That's why it's not working out. Gotta redo it. But I'm supposed to be doing a 2x1 industrial rib. Yep, I just used the wrong side of my needle selector, is all. Because I wasn't paying attention. And then one extra needle for good luck. And also so that the rib pattern is complete. Now it's going to be really loud, but I've done my best to get the audio decent. It's probably not going to be pleasant, but let's find out. The machine makes a lot of really scary grinding sounds, but it's okay. I promise it's okay, and it's healthy, and it loves doing this so much. First row, not so bad. Oop. It would also help if I stopped banging things together. That's doing nothing for the audio quality. Oop. And then I go and do it immediately. There we go, about 65. And then I gotta hang some weights. It's like, if you can't see much, trust me, I cannot see just as much. There's really not much to see. And then I rack over, switch to circular. Oh, it was already on circular. Uh-oh, it's a good thing everything worked out. I am always forgetting to check that. I want to come up to, like, 1. This doesn't really matter because this is waste yarn. And then I cancel circular. I'm gonna come up to like 3, which is about the tension. I've made socks a couple times now, and I'm just kind of gonna wing it this time, based on what I've done previously. So I have no pattern, nothing is exact. I'm just kind of doing whatever I feel is right. And the first step is to knit until I run out of waste yarn. Which, this is waste yarn that I've used for socks in the past, so I know it's going to give me probably like 15 to 20 rows of waste yarn, which is more than enough to get a sock started. Whoop, bumped the mic. Almost out of waste yarn. Ooh, could I get one more row? I could probably get one more row. Yeah! Wow, my playlist was playing like really good stuff the whole time I was testing, and now it's like really, it's really testing me. Like, I like all the stuff on here. It's just not what I'm in the mood for right now. And I can't switch it as easily. Where's the damn... I can't switch as easily as I could have if I was still doing my digital art setup. Which I'm not. For obvious reasons. This is not digital art. Okay. I can switch to the actual yarn now. The actual yarn that we're going to use for the socks are these. Whoop. The color doesn't show up great because this camera is kind of garbage, but these are hand-dyed. They're kind of gradient. They've got like a purpley black in the center and a green on the outside. And just gonna see how it comes out. I've gotta cram this center pull in. I don't like to work with center pull as much on the machine. Like, I'm kind of 50-50 on the machine. Sometimes I work with a center pull, sometimes I don't. But I want to work with the green on this as my top, because we're starting with the ribbing. And moving down to the toe, oh, that's going to be such a bastard and roll around all over the place. But that's okay. I could just go on a wild goose chase to go get it. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I gotta do ravel cord before I switch. And this is basically just to make sure that I can get everything off of the machine really easily. Get down in there. Okay, everything's on the biggest setting. I've just gotta knit across and pray for the best now. I have so many issues with this step specifically, and I have no idea why. I just think my machine doesn't like knitting on tension 10, which is the largest tension, which you want to do for ravel cord because it doesn't stretch like at all, so you don't really want to be breaking things. And then we just pop that down in there. Okay, now we can switch to our main yarn. I'm going to just make sure everything is settled. That does not look correct. Get down there. Okay. I've got to rack, I've got to cancel circular, I've got to turn my tension back down. That would be a disaster. Okay, now it's time for our pretty green yarn. And what happened? Oh, I'm not sure what happened with the music there. I don't know. It has a mind of its own. I did like some audio ducking, so it would quiet down a little when I talk, because I don't talk particularly loud. And I guess it just kind of freaks out every now and then. I have a pattern up that I knit previously, and like I said, I'm not following that at all. It's really just a guideline. I'm going to do 45 rows of ribbing for the cuff, and then I have to take the whole thing off and rehang it for circular knitting. But right now I have to cast on, which is a task in and of itself. Oh, this song. Which is like, I love this song, but I loved it when I was like 8 years old. So I'm not sure if I still love it anymore. What am I doing? 0, 0, circular. Okay. Yeah. 1, and then our second one. Okay, and then we reset our row counter, and we call that row 1. Whoop, I bumped the mic again. I'll get used to it. And then we go 1 notch up, cancel the circular, and we should be good to start our ribbing now for real, or for real ribbing, and not our fake waste yarn ribbing. Everything knitting okay? It really, the ends in the beginning love to give me problems, so I have to remember to check those. Notch 2, and oh, that's gonna be a problem. My yarn is caught on my camera. Let's see if I can get that out of there without messing things up. Okay. I might have to find another camera angle at some point if that ends up being too much of a problem. But once I'm done with the ribbing, I don't think it will, because I won't have to move the carriage over so far. Yeah, let's just get that out of there. Ooh, I didn't... Uh-oh, I already forgot to change my tension that row. I love the final product that you get when you do a rib cast on like this, where you start out at the tightest tension and every row you go up 1 notch. But my god, am I forgetful. 90% of the time, I have forgotten at least once during my ribbing to change the tension. You'd think it gets easier. This is like my, like my 4th pair of socks now? Which, I mean, granted is not that many, but still, you'd think that by now I would have figured it out. I haven't. I've got a slight improvement to my original system, which was to just basically forget all the time. But now when I set my row counter to 1, I know that I should be knitting the first notch, and then each row afterwards I can just check my row counter and my notches, and they should match. Like, I'm about to knit, my row counter says 3, I'm about to knit that row, so my dials should be on the 3rd notch, which I know I'm saying a lot of things, and I know that none of these make any sense to people that don't also use a flatbed knitting machine, probably, or at least know a little bit about them. But I promise I am speaking English and it makes sense to some people. Okay, and then we remember to turn our tension dials, and then we knit a row. And everything will go according to my plans, I hope. Yeah, everything looks fine. Yeah, everything is fine, and I have no idea why the music decided it doesn't want to be playing right now. There it goes. Alright. 4 on my dial. Well, not 4, but the 4th dot. And, oh, caught on the camera again. Sorry about that. I will learn to watch for that, but it's gonna take me a while. Oh my god, what's up with the music, man? Oh, is it the machine? Is the machine setting off the ducking? That would not surprise me. I didn't really think about that. But I've done literally the best that I can to reduce the amount of machine noise that comes in. I tested like 5 different microphones. This is the best it's getting. Unless I get like really expensive audio equipment, but that's probably not going to happen. Because I have really expensive knitting equipment. So you can pretty much guess where my priorities lie. And normally I'd be done here with my tension, but I want to do a slightly looser cuff on this one, because I want to do a slightly taller cuff on this one, so I'm going to go up another couple dials. I'm not sure. I might go to 3, but I might not. I might stop at like 2, and then a dot, or 2 dot. No, let's go up to 3. So we'll do one more row until we're there. Yeah, that's got to be the machine that's triggering the audio, the ducking or the side step or whatever it's called, side chain. That's what it is. Whoop! Sorry, bumped the camera again. But like I said, this is my first time, so I'll get used to the camera being there, and I'll probably end up getting a different setup. To be honest, because this one's not great. This camera, you could probably tell, is not the best. It's just some webcam that I had, like, sitting around. And then, okay, so I'm done with my tension dial. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Now I can just knit until I reach row 45. Which I just have, like, arbitrarily decided earlier that 45 is, like, the magic number for this pair of socks. I'm going to do 45 rows of ribbing, which I did on my last pair of socks, and I liked, but then I'm going to do row count 45 before I start my heel, which will be about 22-ish rounds. I'm not sure what's up with the music. About 22 rounds, because when you're on the machine, when you knit in the round, every pass is half of a row. So you go on the top bed first and then on the bottom bed, and when you go around in a circle like that, you get a tube of knitting. But every time the carriage moves side to side, the row counter goes up by 1. So if you're in the round, then you end up with half as many rows as the row counter says. But usually I do about 14 rounds before I start the heel, so that's about row count 30, and I want it to be a little longer this time. So I'm just going to do 45, because I'm going to do 45 rows for my heel flap also. So I figure might as well just 45 it all the way down. Then I don't have to remember one number. And that's row 31. Just making sure those edges stay good. I've had that ruin a pair of socks before, but honestly, the last time I did a pair of socks, I was like, I just wanted them to be done, so I didn't even care that the edges of the ribbing were all messed up. They were just for me anyway. I wouldn't give somebody a pair of socks like that. I would reknit them. Because on the machine, it only takes like a couple of hours to knit a sock. It's really not a big deal to redo the entire thing if something goes wrong. That's row 40. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh, that didn't feel good. Something happened? No, it looks okay. My ball of yarn fell over, but that's about it. Make sure my tension's all good. And this is row 45. So, that's good. Now I get to transfer everything to the main bed. I want full pitch for that. This is one of the most time-consuming parts of making socks. But luckily, if you mess up, you don't have to redo this part, because right after this, you knit a couple rows of waste yarn, and then take the whole thing off the machine. So the waste yarn kind of serves as like a bookmark, and if you have to undo a bunch of knitting, you can just go back to the waste yarn, and it won't unravel past that, and then you rehang it back on the machine at that point, and you're right back where you started without having to redo the ribbing, which is pretty handy. I've had to do that. My last pair of socks, or was it the pair before? I can't remember. One of the pairs that I did, I had to rehang it like 6 or 7 times. I just kept messing up. I don't even remember what I was messing up, but I messed it up like 5 times and I had to redo it. Sometimes it's not even my fault. A lot of the times it's the machine's fault, because I'll just be, knitting along happily, and it decides that it's not going to knit 10 or 12 stitches in a row, and then I have to redo that whole row. Or I finish the sock and I pull it off and I realize that there was a dropped stitch that I missed, so there's like a big ladder down my work. But it can be hard to see what's going on the ribber bed sometimes. Luckily, my ribber behaves more consistently than my top bed. My top bed loves to cause problems. The bottom bed will behave perfectly fine. Which, like, I don't use pass apps. I don't use any regular, like, actual dual bed machines, so I'm not actually sure which one is which. I know that they say, like, back bed and front bed, but I tend to say top bed and bottom bed. Not that it matters, because this isn't even a quote-unquote real dual bed. This is a Japanese machine with a ribber. Maybe one day I'll try an actual dual bed machine, if I ever get the chance, but it's not like the kind of thing that I'm super interested in. What song is this? I don't know this one. I don't know how this got on here. Not much to say about this part. It's just slow. Not really a lot going on. I'm just taking a stitch from the ribber and putting it onto the knitter so that I can knit a row of regular stockinette and then knit some waste yarn so that I can curl the whole thing in half and start knitting a actual tube and making a sock. I haven't tried putting the seam for the cuff at the back of the foot yet. Maybe I should try that for this one. Do I want to try that? No, I don't think I will. I'll try it one of these days, but I don't want to be streaming and then figuring things out at the same time. That's just that's a lot. Okay, that's everything transferred, and eventually I'll get a ribber transfer carriage, but today is not that day. Nor is it anytime soon. I like to set my ribber tension when I do this step, because I will not remember later. Let's make everything knit. For sure, because I have some doubled up stitches. And I don't really want to have to redo all the ribbing. And not caught on the camera. Got my mast tension good. Okay. We take that out now. And it's waste yarn time again. Woohoo! I've got a whole little stash back here of waste yarn. I've got a ton of these little rat's nests. That one looks a little big though. Let's get a smaller one. Some of these are for doing ribbing, the bottom cuff of a sock, bottom of a sock cuff, but some of these, most of them, are for this step. I used to do it in 2 parts. I used to do half of the bed on one thing of waste yarn. I'm not sure what to call it. And then I would do the other half on another. But it was causing some gapping in the middle that I didn't like. So I just do it on one now. It's not that hard to figure out what I'm doing. The waste yarn needs to get down there. And there's probably a ton of different ways to do this, but this is just the way that I do it. For now, anyway. I'm not the happiest with it, so it might change at some point. I'm going to go up a couple numbers just so that these stitches are a little loose. And I can get them picked up a little easier. Oh my gosh. I might have to switch. Next time I stream, for sure, if I don't do it by the end of the day, I've got to switch my playlist. This one's just not the vibe. I can vibe with that. That's fine. Where was I? Oh yes, waste yarn. Ooh, this one's really short actually. I might only have enough for like 4 or 5 rows. Hopefully that will suffice. Or else I'll have to get another waste yarn out. Yeah, that was 3 rows. That's not gonna be good enough. That's not secure at all. I gotta get another waste yarn threaded up. Whoop. Oh. Uh-oh. We got a tangle. Nope, it's fine. Oh my goodness. I might have to get rid of the side chaining. I don't know if that's it though. It looks like it's lagging, like it's buffering. Which I've never had problems with before. I'm not sure what the deal is. I have this is the same setup that I used to use a couple years ago when I was doing art. I literally have not changed my settings. Uh-oh. Looks like I dropped a stitch. That's no good. Did I? No, it just didn't knit. That's better. If you're gonna have a problem, not knitting is better than dropping. I can drop the ripper actually, and you can kind of see what's going on in here. Looks like I need to put a clip up here. Let me get my other clip. Nope. Nope. Come on. Whoa, there we go. Which you can't even really see. Let me get my other camera set up. You're never gonna believe this. Check this out. If it works. Watch it not work. Oh, please come on. Please. Hello? 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 Okay. Literally, why is it not working? I tested it like a ton of times. I don't know. Alright. I can't show you. My bad. And where did the... There's the music. I have no idea what's going on with that. But I can slide this over a little bit and you can kind of see. Like, yeah, we're knitting something. There's stuff here. Let me get my notes set back up. Oh my god, sound alerts is on the stream overlay. I don't even know why I have that. I don't remember adding that. I must have. Oh well. Not important. Anyway, I've got my notes back. I have no idea why. I tested it, I literally like 10 or 15 times before I went live. And of course, the time you try to use it while you're live, it doesn't work. The second camera, I had one set up. I promise you this, I had one set up. Okay, well, I can show you in a second anyway, because the exciting part is about to happen. We're taking it off the machine. For the first time. I have to liberate it from the comb really quick. And put that aside. We won't need that again, theoretically, I hope. What is going on? Yarn is caught on something. That's no good. Oh yeah, that's not going to be savable. That just ripped. But that's okay, it's just a tail. Yeah, that should be plenty of tail to weave in, and I usually don't have enough to sew up the cuff anyway, so it's no big deal. But weird, I don't know what back here, stuff gets caught on my river all the time. I'm gonna have to take like a file to this back plate. But anyway, the exciting part has happened, where I can actually show you. See, we've knit. This is gonna be the cuff of the sock. You fold it in half, you sew it, and you have a sock cuff. It's a tube. Well, it's not a tube yet, but it will be when it grows up. One day, it'll be a big boy. I like a nice long cuff on my socks, personally. So that's why I'm going with... The color shows up horribly on this camera, but that's why I'm going with about 45 rows of ribbing, because I like a nice long cuff. And this one is a little looser than I usually do, so hopefully it won't be too tight. Now I need... No, I don't need... I need to go to 17. 15, 16, 17. Oh, that doesn't feel good. I might have to replace a needle? No, it's fine actually. It was just... I probably came at it at a weird angle, because that did not feel right the first time. I don't have to be working in the middle of the bed, but I am. So... And we're gonna start on this edge for literally no reason. It doesn't really matter which edge you start on at this point. If you started on the other edge, then you would end up with the seam on the other end of the other side of the foot. Which is better to do if you want to make a matched pair and you're doing them on the side like this. I really need to try getting the seam in the back of the foot. That's the ultimate goal. I just haven't bothered figuring out how I want to do that yet, because it's going to be counting, and I want to minimize the amount of counting I have to do, because I'm lazy, and also bad at counting. I know if I have to count, I'll count wrong, and then I'll have to rehang the whole sock because I counted wrong, and that'll drive me crazy. The hanging it back on the bed is like my least favorite part of the process, because it's just, it takes ages and I have to be like right up on it. Like, am I covering, my face still isn't on camera somehow, but I'm like right up on this bad boy. I should add a weight so that those first stitches don't fly off, which they love to do. Let me add a weight. I used to think that it was this that was really hurting my back, the rehanging all of the stitches, when I was knitting a sock, but turns out, no. It was short row heels and toes. Those kill me. And I only figured that out because I started making socks that don't have short row heels and toes, and suddenly my back didn't hurt after making a sock anymore. I'm not sure why. I don't know how differently I must sit when I'm doing short rows that it hurts that bad, but evidently I'm doing something. This is just another one of those, like, this, just like switching from the river to the main bed. This is just kind of like a tedious process where there's not really much going on. Yep, and Stream Elements wants me to remember to stretch. I will stretch after I get this side hung, because I don't want the weight stretching anything out until I've got most of it hung, because that could cause some tension problems. Whoop. They are slippery little bastards. They do love to just slip off of the transfer tool all the time. Have I got that one? Yeah, I've got it. This was not a good choice of waste yarn color. The contrast between the waste yarn and the actual yarn, not very good. But most of my waste yarn at the moment is little bundles of green. I'll have to get some more black and white. I used to have black and white. I'm not sure what happened to those. I had a bunch of little bundles of black and white waste yarn, and then they like went missing. They might be like stuck to a work in progress that I abandoned. I'll have to check, because I have not seen those in months. Okay, that's one side. I can do some stretches now. Man, it's great that I won't have any idea until I'm done streaming if I messed everything up by turning off my monitor or not. I don't remember how I have my audio set up. Maybe I should turn it back on just to be safe. Quite frankly. Because we are at the I accidentally pressed something. Don't want to do that. Because quite frankly, we are at the very beginning of this process. I have like another, I don't know, how long have I been live? Less than an hour? Yeah, we've got another at least hour and a half under our belt. Or about to be under our belt. Oh, kicked the camera. So, I'd rather just have the monitor on and driving me crazy, and knowing for sure, or at least pretty sure, that the audio is working on stream. Even if I'm double, you know what? I'd rather be double than not at all. Because if this ends up being a 2-hour-long silent stream, screaming, crying, exploding, etc. etc. I hate that. I don't know why I said it like that. So, at the beginning, when I was casting on my rib, I do one extra stitch because I need to make the 2x1. And now, what I do with that extra stitch is I pick it up and I put it on this first needle here to double up. And I'm going to have to remember to tighten that pretty good. And now I add a weight to this back side so that I can start hanging it on the ribber, which I'm going to bring up by one click. Which I really hope the machine sounds are not unbearable. I've done the most that I can to make the machine not gonna kill somebody's eardrums. But there's only so much you can do. When a machine this old wants to make some noises, you know? Like, sometimes they just gotta make some clicks and clunks and chunks. And if you thought hanging the ribbing on the top bed was boring, wait until you get a load of hanging the ribbing on the bottom bed. It's the same thing, but it usually takes me longer, because it's harder to get in here. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably not, like, the most interesting thing to watch, but it's not so bad when you're doing it. Whoop. It's bad on your back, that's for sure, but that's just because I sit real bad. If I learn how to sit like a human being, probably would not be so bad. I have to like redo this whole playlist because I used a Pandora to YouTube playlist converter thing, and it just got like the official music video of everything. And they all have like these awful, unnecessary sound effects and stuff because it's a music video. I don't want that. It's not even like the version that was on Pandora either. Oh, that one wants to be a bastard. Come here. Come here. There we go. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh. I love this song. Hopefully it doesn't freak out, because it was freaking out a second ago. Oh, bumped the camera a little bit. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. Oh my gosh. Time to take a break again already? I'll live. I swear. I swear I will live if I don't take a break right this second. Oh, these last ones are gonna be a bastard. I need my loom pick. This one got yanked all to hell by that first stitch. I probably should not have hung that one yet. I should have waited until the end. But, you know, hindsight, etc. That's how I usually say it. I'm not sure why I decided to put an X in it earlier. Etc. Like it's spelled. Okay, and I gotta really yank the working yarn to get that last stitch nice and tight. And now I've got to get everything back and tamed and weighted properly so that I can put the ribber back up and start knitting in the round and make our damn sock. I hope I don't need a mature language filter for saying damn. I say damn a lot. I say hell a lot. I don't really say either. I don't say anything worse than that. Unless you count blasphemy. Because I don't answer to no god. Okay, that looks good. I should be able to push it all up now. And I've got to fix a couple of these. Okay, everything's on the latch. Get in there. Get in there. And the way that I do circular, the bottom bed is my first row anyway of circular. So I can just push all these up because these ones are the least likely to knit. And I have to set my row counter down to 2 because remember we did a row of stockinette and now it's folded in half, so it's 2 rows. And I'm in, yes, I'm circular. I've got my tensions right. No, top bed is on 8. When it should be on 5. Okay, now we should be good. We're going to be getting into the good sounds soon. I swear to God, I promise you this. Once I'm knitting tubular for a while, it just starts to sound lovely. It's genuinely just a very fun... I love the audio experience of being a machine knitter. Was not even on my radar when I wanted to get into machine knitting, but there's so many pleasant sounds. Like, if you miss the ka-chunks and the clicks and the thuds and the bumps, etc. of technology, you know, like a good old cassette player or something, these have that. They've got everything you're looking for. They've got the tactile experience, they've got the audio experience, they've got the smell like cigarette smoke and really old machine oil experience. My ribber smelled so much like cigarettes when I got it. It aired out really quick, thankfully. Thank God. But, yeah, it smelled like it had been smoking 3 packs a day since the 70s. And it might have. I don't know who had it before me. Some guy on eBay. You don't... Once I get going, these... I don't have to, like, stop every row and coax it back in between the beds. But these first couple of rows, the waste yarn gets, like, bunched up in between the beds, and it's not ideal. But what can you do? I'm sure somebody knows something better. But not me. So I'm doing the best I can with what I've got. Ooh, that stitch needs a little more weight, it looks like. It's a lot of rehanging weights. I've got to get my weights situated just right, and then I can go like nobody's business. But in the beginning of knitting a sock, it's a lot of figuring out where the weights need to go. And then, honestly, a lot of the parts of this making the sock are also figuring out where the weights need to go. That's why I'm so glad I'm not doing short row heels anymore. Short row heels and toes were awful at figuring out where the weights need to go. And they needed so much weight, and you had to move it like every row. I still do the toes sometimes, because I like a short row toe. I don't know if I'm going to do a short row toe on this one yet or not. I have yet to decide. I want to try a modification of the wedge toe that I did on like my second or third pair of socks. Because I tried a wedge toe a couple pairs ago, and it was lovely, but also bad. Like, I loved knitting it. I didn't love the look. But knitting it was a dream. It was like no work at all. Unlike short row toes, which feel like I just got done in the coal mines. Like, I'm a worse person after I knit a short row heel or toe. And I don't know, maybe they just don't agree with me personally. It's gotta be something about me. I don't think it's the machine's fault. I think it's me. I'm switching arms a lot more often than I usually do, because I'm not used to having the camera here, so I'm like worried about hitting it. But I usually do the knitting with this arm. And I have to hold onto the table with the other arm, because this table wobbles like insane, which I'm working on. I've got to figure out a way to make it wobble less. I'm thinking 2x4s. A couple 2x4s probably will set it right. I don't know. I'm a knitter, not a table guy. Carpenter? I don't know who makes tables, because I'm not it. Okay. That's row 28. Now, normally I would stop here at row 29, and this would be enough for me before the heel, but I want to try a little bit longer this time. And like a little bit longer cuff couldn't hurt. A lot of people do like a really short band of ribbing, and then they do like that much stockinette before their heel, and that's the leg of their sock. I usually do a majority ribbing. I just prefer the look. Or maybe I don't. I don't know. I haven't tried the other way yet. Uh-oh. A couple stitches didn't knit. But no, I should redo that row. Sometimes I can save it, but this is enough that I think it's going to cause tension problems if I just manually knit those stitches. Oh, yeah, I've got a couple of rows I got to undo. Uh-oh. Well, I'll leave this over here because I actually might need it over here. I don't know yet. Don't know how many rows I have to undo. More really good sounds. Let me get you in there. And there's no issues on the bottom bed, of course. My perfect angel child that never has any problems. Except for ones that I cause. Because I wasn't paying attention. But the top bed loves to mess up. It is always doing this to me. Oh, and that was like 2. I was on 40. 2, so that's 38. And it looks like we're good now, but honestly, No, I'll move the carriages. I was gonna rip back another row, just so I didn't have to move the carriages. But it's not that hard to move the carriages. Did I just... I don't remember which way this setting goes. Is it P or R? I'm gonna have to open up my manual. 1 second. And by 1 second, I mean several minutes, actually. First I have to find the manual. There it is. And now I've got to find where it talks about the tuck lever. Okay, so it should be an R. Okie dokie. I've done that before. I've like hit that switch and didn't know that I hit it, and then nothing was knitting right, and I was so confused because I can never remember if it's P or R that I want it to be on. Hopefully now. I mean, at least I have it on recording. So I can check. But I think that you and me both know that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna look it up next time also. And it didn't take that long. That's why I keep the manuals from my machine on my phone, on my notes app, so I can just check them when stuff like that happens. Let's move that weight up so that hopefully these stitches knit and they don't be so mean to me. I've got 3 weights on the fabric on the front bed and on the back bed, and that usually works out for me. Usually, but I do still have to like jockey my weights. Okay. Yep, it looks like everybody knit right this time, so we're good to go. Well, only for a couple more rows. That's row 40. So we're getting there. That's 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, which I have to end on with the carriage on this side because I'm doing a heel flap, and that's just the way that it goes. And now I set both beds to tuck. Set my... well, not tuck, part. Set my row counter to 0, and we start the heel flap pattern for 45 rows. So easy when I only have to remember one number, and it's 45. Although, after this, I'm going to be done with the 45s. But this is at least pretty mindless. I don't really have to focus on what I'm doing that much. It's usually pretty obvious to me when something knits wrong, but it's also usually easier to fix because it's just flat. Stuff in the round is a little more annoying to fix because you have to like get around the ribber and everything. But once this gets going, I can actually drop the ribber bed and switch to the other sinker plate so you can see a little bit more of what's going on. Still probably not a ton, especially with this camera angle. But I don't really want to like change it and then not be able to find the other angle when I have to switch back to circular, because most of the sock is going to be knit circular, and it's not really going to be visible from that same angle. Like, I've got to get a better camera setup for sure, but for now, this'll do. I figured out how to get my phone as a second cam, but it didn't want to work when I tried it earlier, of course. But I could get some kind of tripod that would work better for my phone and use that eventually. Oh dear, is that a drop stitch? No. Okay, the weights were just pulling on it weird. Okay, let's switch to the other sinker plate. Which I don't usually do. I usually just, leave it. I usually just use the river plate the whole way. But, let's see. I might be able to... Yeah, that's a little closer. You might be able to see some of what's going on at least, without changing the camera angle too much. Honestly, this might just be better. I might not even put it back when I'm done. I'm not sure. And I've got to do my pattern selection, which I'll probably end up making a punch card for this at some point for heel flaps, because it's not hard. It's just one row that, you know, you slip every other one, and then one row that you don't. And if I cancel edge needle selection, I'll have to mess with it. It'll probably still take a little bit of focus, because I'll have to make sure that the first stitch of every row slips. But could make it a little easier on myself, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of punch card reliant. I love punch cards. That's why I got a machine. I was fascinated by punch cards, and I wanted to play around with them. So, it's something that's very easy to... This is very easy hand patterning. Like, it doesn't really get easier than this. And I'm like, but I don't want to do it. I want to use a punch card. Oh dear. This last needle loves to jump forward when I'm doing this. I don't actually know how many stitches I have to pick up for my gusset, because I haven't done 45 row heel flaps before. But I'll figure it out, man. It's not exactly the same on the machine as it would be for hand knitting anyway, because you can't quite get the right number when you pick up on the machine. It's just the tension doesn't work out. That's row 14. Wow. This is going slower than I remember. It's almost like streaming makes things go slower. Who would have guessed that? I don't really need to rehang my weights, but they were bugging me. They were like off-center. Oh, and that one doesn't want to hang right. Get in there. There we go. They're still off-center. Oh, jeez. Kick the camera. They're still off-center, but I'll live. It still does not look like it's weighting this edge right. What is the deal? I don't know, maybe I'm going crazy. row 19 of 45. Like, my math said that I should do 50 rows, but I knit a 50-row heel flap last night because that didn't sound right to me. And it was a little long, so then I did the math again. I took a 1/2 inch off my heel measurement, and I got around 45. And I was like, I'll just go with 45, and it'll be 45, 45, 45, and I don't have to think ever again. I just have to do just 45. 45 is the only number that matters. 45 is the only number I need. And it should be fine. Because before, I was doing like traditional heel flaps, where you do the same number of rows as you have stitches. And for my sock, I have 34 stitches on one bed. So I was doing 34 rows, and it was just a little short. The sock keeps like pulling itself down in the back because there's not enough space in the heel. So, oh my gosh, my phone is dying fast. I don't have a charger in here, unfortunately. I've been meaning to get one. I have no money in my bank account. But, music. Come on, man. You can do it. But, I forgot what I was saying. Something, and then my phone was dying. I don't know. I really liked the fit of the heel flaps, though. Like, I was reluctant because short row heels were like, I was like, oh, they're so easy. I don't want to learn anything hard. But honestly, I think these are easier than short row heels. Short rows are not heel flaps. And they fit better, and they, like, I don't know about look nicer, but they look fine. At first, I thought they were ugly. That's why I didn't want to learn them also. Because I was like, oh, why would I learn the ugly heel when I already know how to do short rows, which are the pretty heel? But they're not any prettier. And it's not, especially if you're not doing a contrast. If you're not doing a contrast heel, it does not matter. I would take a heel flap over a short row heel any day. I'm forgetting how to speak English. I don't usually speak this much while I'm knitting, though, so my brain is malfunctioning, trying to make new connections. That's 30 rows. 31. I don't have to pull the needles all the way out to hold. But, like, given the track record of my main bed and how much it likes to just skip a bunch of stitches, for no conceivable reason, like, it looks like it's weighted properly, and then it just decides to skip, like, 12 stitches in a row. I'd rather pull them out as far as I can. Yeah, honestly, I might not put the camera back. I might actually, let me angle it a little bit. Yeah, I feel like that's a better angle than what I had before anyway. Anyway, that's row 34. Normally I'd be done here, but I have, like, freakishly long heels, apparently. Oh, it's time to take a break. Which is fine to do at this point. Like, the last time, it wanted to be like, oh, take a break when I'm in the middle of... Oop, I kicked the camera again. It wanted to tell me to take a break when I'm in the middle of hanging stitches, which is, like, the worst time to take a break. I don't know. I just don't like to take a break while I'm in the middle of hanging stitches. I gotta rehang my weights again anyway, so it's a good time to stop. And I'm gonna have a drink of water. Okay. Now to remember what I was doing. Row 35. Okay. And it's a return pass, which, I mean, I don't think that's what it's called. I'm thinking in Tunisian crochet terms for no goddamn reason. The last hand project I was working on was Tunisian crochet, so that could be why. I don't have a hand knitting project at the moment. I'll have to fix that. Oh, I have a hat planned. I'll do that. I'm gonna do like a pink and blue hat that has these like cute floppy ears. It's not a pattern that exists. I'm just gonna make it up as I go. But it's like leftover yarn from another project that I wanted to use up, and it's probably just enough to make a hat with floppy ears. I don't think it'd be enough to do anything more intricate. I wanted to make a cardigan, but it's definitely not enough for that. It's 2 balls of yarn that are partially used. Very little, because I only need like 1 stripe of each color for another project. But it's still far from enough to make a cardigan. It wasn't enough when those balls were new. We're at row 40, so I'm probably going to do 44. Maybe I'll do 46. It's going to be 44 or 46, because I'm pretty sure you have to do an even number. I can't remember why, but I'm sure I will when I go to continue with the gusset. Which is going to be another very boring section, where I have to get in very close and pick up a bunch of stitches. I wanted to try... I'm probably not going to do it now, because I want to do like some tests on my own time of picking up the heel flap in a slimmer way, because right now, the way that I'm doing it, you end up with a ridge on the inside of the sock. I can't feel it, but I have some relatives with sensitive skin, and I'm pretty sure they'll be able to feel it. So I want to figure out how to minimize that. I know there's ways, especially in hand knitting, but I have to see if I can translate those into machine knitting at all. Because it's not one-to-one. You'd think it is, maybe, but it's really not. There's a lot of stuff that will translate pretty close. Like this heel flap, I can do a different heel flap pattern, no problem. I did a more like diamondy one on another pair of socks, and that turned out fine. And I watched a hand knitting tutorial for that. But not everything. Oh, uh-oh, my ball must have gotten caught. Yeah. Because that was a little tight. Let's just fix that. Okay. And that's 46. So now it's time to pick up my gusset stitches. And it's been a while. So let me remember how I was supposed to do this. First of all... Oh, no, not picking up. It's heel turn time. Okay. That's a little better. That's not so boring. And it gives me time to remember how to pick up the gusset stitches. Half plus 2. Knit 2 together. Knit 1. And this is also a lot of hand transferring and stuff. Whoop, now I want to slip that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, knit 2 together, knit 1. But honestly, I kind of like doing the heel turn. It's more exciting than doing a short row heel, and I cannot explain why. It's just, I just like it. Okay, and now we get to bridge these gaps, knit 2 together, transfer everything over by 1, which is, honestly, the way that I do this part of the heel turn is definitely not the most efficient way to do it, but it helps me keep track of what I'm doing, so I don't mind it. And also, if I had like a 7-prong transfer tool, I could probably get it done a little faster. But again, no money in my bank account. And a 7-prong transfer tool, not really high on my priority list. If I was doing more cable work, maybe. But they'd have to be some pretty complicated cables to warrant shelling out for an adjustable 7-prong transfer tool. Which is not that, it's like $20, but still. Well, and I lost it. Where's my latch hook? Okay. We're on a rescue mission. And I usually have to re-knit the stitch because I usually can't catch the actual live loop. Oh, I didn't do that well. Come on. Oh, time for another stretch. Okay, there we go. I got my stitch back, and it looks like I was in the middle of my knit 2 together. I'm gonna take a stretch real quick, though. Ugh. It's better on my back, but it's still hell on my back. Although working around the camera, which I just bumped, is new, so I just gotta get used to the setup and the workflow and everything. Oh. I'm like, why isn't it lining up the right way? Because I didn't do it in the right order, girl. I transfer everything over first. I was just saying that, like, oh yeah, my process helps me keep track of what step I'm on. And then I immediately forgot what step I was on when I looked away for more than a second. I am so genius. Okay, and now I do my knit 1. And then we can knit across. I might have to move up my middle weight. Okay. Knit 2 together. And I don't know why, out of all things, the heel turn I refer to in like hand knitting terms, because I've never hand knit a sock before. My first socks were machine knit. Well, I have hand knit socks, but I haven't hand knit heel flap socks. I've actually only done like tube socks. And I did this like weird kind of sock. I don't even know if there's a name for that heel. It was strange. You like knit a tube for a while and then you knit flat and then you like sew those ends together and you have like a hole at the top. I'm not sure. It was weird. And then you pick up for the cuff. But those are like slipper socks. I've never hand knit socks that go inside of a shoe. I've only done slipper socks. But I want to hand knit a pair of socks. I'm thinking of doing like a nice solid. I'll hand dye a nice, maybe a tonal. Just a one color tonal. And then do maybe a cabled sock, which I could do on the machine. But like I want to hand knit. I've been wanting to do cables on something hand knit so bad. I'm not sure why. I'm not the biggest cable fan. They're okay. They're not my favorite. But ooh. That's not correct. What did I do? It must have been when I dropped that stitch. Okay, I've got to undo a couple rows. I'm not sure what's happening. And my headphones are like super wound around themselves. That's no good. Okay, let's undo a couple rows and see if I can diagnose whatever the hell I did when I dropped that stitch. That's another thing, is that the heel flap and gusset is much easier to diagnose what the hell is wrong than a short row heel. Anytime I made a mistake knitting a short row heel, I was like, I'm just going to restart the whole sock. I don't have time to figure out what went wrong. And I'm not sure why. Because, like, arguably, the short row heel is a less complex construction, but for some reason, I just gave up completely. They just shut my brain down. Okay, so that's our 2. Let's move you over. And actually, oh yeah, I did 2. Did I do 2 knit 2 togethers on accident? Is that what my problem is? Because that looks like it's my dropped stitch. Because it's a little bit worse for wear. Man, this yarn is just taking a beating. First it got chewed up by the ribber on the underside. I'm not sure what's going on under there. And now it's getting chewed up by my latch hook. Okay. So we've got that. And it looks like I might have just accidentally done 2 knit 2 togethers on that row. Let's figure out what's going on. Ugh, there's a piece of hair in my mouth. Okay, what do we have going on? Okay, no, we want that knit. We want our... What? Okay, I was just saying this is easier to diagnose. And now I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Okay. Honestly, I could just rip back to the beginning of the heel flap, which is I just did. Alright, we're back at the beginning of the heel turn. Take 2. Come on. There you go. Move my carriage around. I did not oil my machine very recently, I don't think. Which is not the problem. That's not why I'm having issues. But I do realize now... Ooh, that's a drop stitch. Where did my lash hook... There it is. This is like the least efficient way of going about this, probably. Come on. Come on. What are you caught on? Just come off of the latch hook. Okay, hopefully we don't have... I don't see any more drop stitches at the moment, but you honestly never know. They could be hiding anywhere. Like right there. Oh my god, how did that even happen? That's where everything's supposed to be originally. Get back over there. Okay, I've gotta rescue another stitch. I think I might need my loom pick for this. Uh-oh. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. It has dropped pretty much all the way down. But I think I got it. And it looks like I got lucky, and it looks like it's not one of the ones that is part of the slip pattern. So it's just knits all the way down. I don't have to figure out which float is a slip and which one is supposed to be a stitch. This is actually exciting. You can't even see anything because my hands are in the way, but like this is at least something unexpected. Hopefully I didn't do it wrong and have to do it all over again, which I do often. Oh, is that a float I missed? I think it is. I was just saying, hopefully I won't have to redo a couple of rows. I think I do. Let's just unknit that, unknit that. Awesome! And, okay, it looks like that one's the bottom one. It can be hard to tell. Hard to tell with the slip pattern sometimes. Ugh, let go of that other hook. This is my least favorite part of machine knitting. I don't like the laddering down process. I don't mind it in hand knitting. Except for when I do it wrong in hand knitting, which I also do all the time. I'm just bad at it. Ugh. Okay, finally, I got that bastard float ladder. I don't know. It didn't want to knit. Okay. Should be good now. At least at first glance. Everything seems fine. Now I have to... It looks like I might have another drop stitch on my hands. And I have to get this all sorted. Yeah, that's another drop stitch for sure. For sure. This one is not as bad, though, hopefully. No, but it does have a neighbor. There's a drop stitch right next to it. Oh boy. Hopefully the tension doesn't get all janked up on this sock, because I don't want to reknit the whole thing. Okay, music. You can stop skipping, please. And I've got to move it all incrementally. Oh, bump the camera. Awesome. And I've got to move everything over again. Is this our drop stitch? Yes. And it's one of the slip ones. Oof. Okay. I got that secured at least. Where are all of my other transfer tools? Oh. What the hell? I have no idea what that was. I hope it wasn't a card snap, because I'll never find that. Okay, I think this should be the last drop stitch, which is good. But it also is an annoying little bastard, because I have to figure out which ones are slips and which ones are supposed to be stitches. Okay, so it looks like that one's supposed to be knit. Oh, that's not knitting right. Uh-oh, my phone is turning off. No phone, no. Okay. Will you knit now? Yes. Okay. And then it should be this one. Oh, that's not correct. So it's gotta be... Ugh. I have thankfully never had to fix one of these bastards before. The slip stitches. But now, the luck has run out. Nope, that's not correct either. What in the hell are you supposed to do with these? Um... Okay, that's correct now. I have to dodge this bottom one. Literally slip that stitch. While still managing to catch the top one. And there we go. Just one more time. And come on. Come on. It's like doing surgery, except nobody dies if you do it wrong. If people were dying when you do surgery right, then there's something is not correct. Alright, that should be fixed now. For the latch hook away, I hope... Oh. You know what? Let me see if I can figure out what fell down earlier. No. Oh, and I bumped the camera. No, I don't see anything. Hopefully it wasn't important. This one looks like it's by itself. This one is not. This one is a knit two together situation. But it looks like I got it. Okay. And just like that, it's like we didn't even start the heel flap. Or the heel turn. So many similar names for things. Oh, that one looks a little bad. Are you okay, bud? Are you sickly? My son, who has every disease? No, it's fine. I really wish that my chat would stop freaking out so I can... Like, I keep thinking that something's happening because the chat, like, scrolls, but then nothing happens. Okay, I am going to do stretch real quick before we do take 2 of the heel turn. Hopefully it goes a little better this time. I don't know what happened when I dropped that stitch. Okay, let's try that again, because I know how to do this. This is not my first rodeo. I swear I know what I'm doing. I swear I'm smart. +2, knit 2 together, knit 1. Oh, my yarn is caught. That's not good. I just bumped the camera, didn't I? Sorry. Or you're welcome. Slip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey! Redoing my heel turn, because it went very badly the first time. I don't know what happened. But that's part of the beauty of machine knitting, is that if you mess up real bad, you can just redo it, because it took like 20 minutes. And now I've got to do all of my goddamn transfers every single time I get to this part of the sock. I'm like, why do I do this? I hate doing all of these transfers. But then I love the way the sock turns out, so it's fine. I think that every knitting pattern has some part of the process that's like, why am I doing this to myself? I don't want to be doing this. I thought I liked knitting. That's my knit 2 together, and then I knit 1. And then we do the same thing on this side, knit 2 together. Whoop. And we try not to drop a stitch, because that's what messed me up last time. Come on. There we go. But the transfers all go really quick after the first row. It's just like the first row that's such a nightmare. Uh-oh. I split my yarn. Okay. And my knit 1. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay. Not sure why the music decided that that song was over. But I guess it gets to do what it wants. And my knit 2 together. And then we transfer everything so that I can do a knit 1. And maybe this time I won't forget what I was doing immediately after saying that the order that I do things in is kind of dumb, but at least it helps me remember what order I'm doing things in. And then my knit 1. That middle weight needs to come up for sure. Oh my god, I don't know what's up with my phone. My chat just keeps like twitching. Haha, because it's Twitch chat, I get it. But actually I wish it wouldn't do that. Whoops, that's not correct. My knit 1. Whoop. I keep bumping the camera. I'll remember that it's there eventually. Whoop, I'm not even on the right stitch. Come on. Oh, don't forget the knit 1. That would be bad. Knit 2 together, and we're getting down to like really short transfers now. Like this one's only going to be 2 passes. 1, 2, and that's it. That's all the stitches transferred. Except for my knit 1, which I don't count. That's its own thing. And then we just do the same thing on the other side, and we're like, what, like 2 more passes? No, like 4 more passes from being done with the heel turn. And then after the heel turn, the gusset, which is, I'm gonna say, maybe the least interesting part, visually. But that's okay. You know, not every part of the process can be the most interesting thing in the world. Knit 1. Knit 2 together. Transfer. Knit 1. And now, I don't even have a transfer step, because I just go like this. I just take these 2, whoop, and I move them over. And that's it. Do the same thing over here. And the heel turn is done. So, now I get to figure out how many stitches I need to pick up for my gusset, because I haven't done this number of rows in the heel flap before. But it's easy enough to eyeball. It's not like I have to do math. I would never leave math for myself to do on stream. I wonder if my secondary cam will work now. Maybe it'll be nice to me. Other? I don't know how to make it reconnect. Let's just try it. I'm gonna do, you know what? I'm not gonna embarrass myself. I'm gonna be professional. I'm gonna do studio mode. Yeah, it does not seem to be connecting. Hold on. Is it? I wonder if it's because I picked high quality as my target and it's mad at me. No. No. Okay. We're not getting a second camera angle, which is awesome. You know, it's like like I test it like 10, 20 times before I go live, hit the button, suddenly it don't work no more. Okay, so that's 17. Whoop. 17. And I bonked the camera. 17. So that's how many I have to pick up. And that one's gonna pop, but it's fine. This is where the loom pick comes in handy, and I'm gonna drop this more so that I have some working room at the beginning. I need... no, not you. Let's see. Whoop. Oh, jeez. I drop things a lot. I'm surprised that's the first time that's happened. Okay, so that's the mandatory. I need those stitches. After that, I just kind of have to figure stuff out on my own. Okay. And that's probably the end of being able to see literally anything at all, because I have to bring the river back up now, which is going to severely limit the amount of visibility on this sock. I have to hang some more weight, though. Good God. Nope, that's too close to the edge. That might do. This section gets, like, really tight, but honestly, it's not that bad. No, I need to take the weight back off. I'll have to hang the weight afterwards, which is usually what I do, but I thought I could get away with it. I cannot. It just adds too much tension. I'm not going to be able to get any more stitches hung, and I need to. So, I gotta pull this bad boy out, and you know what? I'm gonna have to get in front of the camera a lot, probably, to see what's going on. Yeah, I gotta get this one. Nope. This one. once again, Stream Elements wants me to take a break in the middle of me trying to hang stitches, which is like the worst time to take a break. Let's move some of these up, since I can't hang weight to prevent slippage. Ugh. Usually I can hang stitches up to number 22 on my number strip. So, I gotta get at least to number 22. And then, theoretically, several stitches after that. Maybe 4? Because I added about 10 rows, and there's about 2 stitches per row. So, well, I mean, it would be 2 after that, because I have to do 2 on each bed. So, maybe 24. Ugh. Well, that's 24. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's 24 on both beds. I have a couple more stitches. $25? Come on. Come on. Yeah, 25. I'm not going to be able to get that last one on. I wouldn't know where to put it anyway. Okay, the easy part is done. Now I have to do the other side, which is going to be even tighter than the first side. And I have to do it around the camera. Ooh, I did not plan that very well. Okay. Ooh, yeah. I might have to drop a couple of those because I don't think this is happening. I might have to restart and move everything over 1 stitch. We'll see. How much weight do I have? No, I only have 1. It is not usually this hard to get the other side. I'm not sure what's going on. Like, this sock just wants to cause problems, I guess. 'Cause goddamn. Yeah, I'm gonna just start over on the other side so that I can have more slack over there. And then I'll figure it out on this end. 'Cause it's just... it's so tight. It's not usually this tight. I'm not doing anything different. I've made like 4 or 5 socks like this by now. And it's never given me this many oh, is it caught on a gate peg? That would do it. It sounded like it was caught on a gate peg. Maybe. After this, though, it's smooth sailing. Like, this is the most time-consuming, most annoying part of the sock. And then it's pretty easy from here on out. I'm pretty much just knitting a tube until it's long enough. And then I'll be done. And we're going to go to 22 at the very least. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta do this side first, and then I immediately go back over and try to do the other side. There's something wrong with my brain. That's not... Come on. It feels really thick for just a stitch, but I guess that's it. Alright. Man, the music just has a mind of its own, I swear. Ooh. I don't know if I'm picking up the right part of the stitch over here. Oh, I bumped into the camera some more, which is awesome. It's so hard to tell. That's 21. Wrist is starting to hurt, which is not a very common injury that I get from the knitting machine. I've gotten a couple of injuries from this bad boy, and wrist pain usually is not one of them. Yeah, I just don't think I have enough slack to get as many stitches as I need. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Let's take all the weight off. This is not a problem that I had with 34 row long heel flaps, but unfortunately those are too short for my heel. So I'm gonna have to figure this out. Okay, that's 24. Can I get 24 on this side? Oh, getting caught on my own needles. That's no good. Okay, that's 22, 23. Come on. $24. If I can get my needle. Ugh. Yeah, this is gonna be an unpleasant couple of rounds. And I'm probably gonna have to sew up a hole at the end. But I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. And that's only 21, and I'm already running out of slack. You can only stretch it so far. Ooh, my hand is going numb. Ugh. Like, there should be just a little more slack. Come on, man. Just give me a little bit more to work with. I don't know what that was. Ugh. No, I got nothing more. I've got no more slack. Looks like it's gonna be 22. Which is not good. Maybe I can do 23? Ow. And yeah, I'm gonna have a hole to sew up at the end, probably. Unless I do it all over again from the start, and I pick up from... yeah. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna try it like this, and we'll see. For the next sock, maybe I'll do it the other way, because I don't know how it's gonna turn out. So, I might as well just wait and see. I'm gonna actually skip one, and grab the next stitch. Yeah. I mean, I'm not really using a pattern, so it's all kind of just hoping that it's good luck. All we can really do is hope. Come on. Come on. Ugh. And I think I lost a stitch on the bottom. I must have. That's also not correct. You're supposed to have 2 strands. Where did your second strand go? But at least, I figure if I do it like this, I'll only have 2 holes to sew up. I feel like if I go back and redo it so that there's there's more of a gap down here, then I'll have 4. I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 where I started. Hopefully this is what I gotta do. What I had to do was I was supposed to knit another round after the heel turn, and I did not do that. But it won't make a huge difference. I just have to move my carriage? I'm not sure. It's just not the way I usually do it, but it won't actually affect the finished sock at all. It'll just affect the process that I have to do to get to the next stage. Or not. No, I don't think it will, actually. Okay, now I have to put the river all the way up. I gotta switch sinker plates first, or my machine will not be very happy with me. Oh, where did I put it? There it is. I am always misplacing my loom pick, which sucks, because it's like my most important tool when I'm doing these gusset heels. I might have more slack now. No, I don't think I could get another stitch, though. It's just there's no room to work. Oh, maybe. Nah, I'm not gonna bother. Because if I can get it on this side and then I can't get it on the other side, it's gonna be annoying. I'll just leave it at 23, and it'll hopefully work out. I gotta go back to circular knitting. And I'm gonna be knitting... I cannot be knitting the top bed first. That's not correct. I've got to do the opposite direction of circular that I normally do. That's why I usually knit an additional row after my heel turn. This row and like the next couple rows suck the most. These are like the worst rows to knit. But after this, I swear, it gets easier. I have to like brace myself in like 4 spots. Okay, that one knit fine. I gotta put weight back on the back. I did not remember to do that. It's a good thing I checked. Or it all probably would have fallen off of the machine, and I would have started crying and ended stream and gone to bed early. Oh geez, one of my weights fell off. Okay, get back on there, man. You got a job to do. Okay. The worst row of the entire sock, part 2. And that's over and done with. Why is the weight is not weighing down the middle properly? Come on. Come on. I might have to hang a 4th weight. Because it's just not, it's not enough weight. Where's my bastard? There it is. Okay, and I have to start my decreases immediately. I've forgotten that a couple of times. That's no fun. And I'm gonna keep pushing out all my needles the first couple of rounds, because good God, I don't want anything to drop. That'll be a nightmare. Trying to remember how many rows I'm supposed to do between decreases. I think it's 4 carriage passes. Yeah. I didn't take everything forward because I was too busy thinking, and half of these didn't knit. Which is fine, that's better than dropping. At least they didn't drop. Come on. The last one always want to be a stubborn little... There it goes. Okay, let's try that again. Move the row counter back, slide everything forward so that you don't have that problem again. Okay. Oh, jeez, another weight fell off. Why are you not grabbing the fabric? Just grab it, man. You have one job. Okay. Time for my next decrease. And this time, I take a needle from the top, bring it around, and put it on the bottom. And those needles are out of work. Awesome. Oh man, I'm so excited because I bought a Yarn Swift like a week ago, and it was supposed to arrive already, but it hasn't yet, and the tracking is like all janked up. They still say that it hasn't even been picked up. So hopefully it's on its way, and I didn't get scammed. We'll see. But then I'll be able to wind my hand-dyed yarns into balls even easier, which will be so fun. Made sure to get a wooden one this time, so that it's not literally made out of lead. Last time I bought one, literally made out of lead. I was like, I'm not using this. I think it's still in my kitchen, though, which is probably not great. It's like, I feel like getting lead in your yarn is like bad, but not like as bad as having lead in your kitchen where you cook dinner and food. I might be good. Do I have to pull them all out this time? No, oh, I had one that didn't knit. I might just have to move my weights, but I think the tension has worked itself out at least. And this one looks like it's split. Everything else? Yeah. Everything else knit fine. Decrease row. I hope my head isn't, like, in the way 90% of the time. I'm not really paying attention. There's already so little to see. It would suck if I'm covering all of it up. Okay, let me move my weights to make sure I'm getting good distribution. That feels okay. I'm gonna pull everything out just to be safe, because I'm scared. Everything knit! Awesome! On to my decreases. Like the happy little guy I am. And I just have to keep decreasing until I get down back to my original stitch count. And then it's literally just knitting a tube for the rest of the length of the sock until I get to the toe. And I haven't decided what I'm going to do for the toe yet, which is awesome. I love planning. Man, I don't know. I do not know what is going on with the music player either. It was also not giving me any trouble until I started streaming. But that's just the way it goes. Nothing ever wants to work when it's actually time to work. Uh-oh, that didn't knit right. No problem. No, I need the loom pick. Loom pick. Okay, which one of you needs to be knit and which one is coming off? It looks like you... Nope, that might not have been correct. I'll just drop the river a click and see. Oh, jeez. Nothing ever wanna be easy. Nope, I don't think that's right neither. Okay, well, I'm just gonna say that that's probably fine. Honestly, like, you're not even gonna be able to... You're barely gonna see that on the sock, so it's probably fine. Uh-oh. Once again, the top bed did not like that. So let's just... And clearly, I'm gonna have to readjust my weights again, because there's no other reason that the top bed should be knitting so badly. But for now, I'll just pull everything out. That ought to do it. Okay. Yeah, everything knit. And I do really need to bring my weights up a little. Okay, row 30. 30 is not divisible by 4. So we keep going. 32 is... So we decrease, if I could find... Uh-oh. Where did I put my transfer tool? Oh, it is in there. It loves to hide from me, because it's so small. Only a couple decreases left. Awesome. Looks like... Let's see. 1, 2, 3? 3 more decreases? I thought I saw a tuck stitch, but no, I think I was just hallucinating. Sometimes with variegated yarns, it's a little hard to tell. And I think I just saw a solid green stitch next to some purple stitches, and I was like, oh no, what happened? Nothing happened. Nothing at all happened, and it was fine. And another decrease. Oh, I really need to clean my machine. I can see lint sticking out of the needles. It's been a couple weeks since I cleaned it, so it could use it. Honestly, I've had it almost a year now. It could use a deep clean, but I don't know if I'm ready to do all that. And This is our second to last decrease. Next time we'll be on 17, either side of 0 on both beds, which is exactly where we need to be. Here it is, the final decrease. And then it's just tube time. Tube time is nice and easy. Usually. Watch it not be like what this stream has been easy. Everything has been going wrong. I'm surprised I got the ribbing hung all in one piece, because that's usually a spot that gives me some trouble. But no, everything else goes wrong. How? Oh my gosh, and I'm on row 45. These really are the 45 socks. And now I just knit until row 100. Well, row count 100. Uh-oh. Not so easy after all. That back bed is just going to keep giving me problems, evidently. Not really much I can do about it. I've hung the weights as optimally as I can, as far as I can tell. And it still don't want to knit right. Maybe it just doesn't like this yarn, which is weird, because it's the same exact yarn that I've always used for socks. It's just a different color. It also could be dirty. The top bed might just need to clean more than the bottom bed does. Am I? How do I have? Hold on. I have an extra stitch. Oh my god. How did that happen? Honestly, I must have missed a decrease somewhere. But you know what? I'm just gonna cheat. And I'm gonna decrease it now. And we're gonna pretend that nothing happened. I didn't see it if you didn't. I would say that most of my socks that I've made so far have at least one part where I'm like, yeah, that's not right. That's definitely, I messed up. But I'm just gonna pretend that I don't see it. Which is a problem. I definitely have to stop doing that. And start actually knitting things correctly. Okay. Uh-oh. Once again, it's the top bed having problems. It probably needs a clean. I'll have to clean it before I knit the next sock and hope that that fixes whatever problem it's having. Because it's not usually this bad. It is always the bed that has problems, but it's not usually this bad. Uh-oh. You can kind of see there's a sock coming out the bottom. It's long enough now that I can see it, at least. And it's coming in a little bit on the bottom of the camera. But, I mean, last time we saw this was like, what, like 2 hours ago? Whoop, I bumped the camera again. So that's exciting. We are in the home stretch. I might end up having to unravel this whole sock and starting over from scratch. But that's okay. Because it only takes like, I think it's going to take me a little longer because I messed up a bunch. So this might be like a 3.5 hour sock. But I don't mind redoing a 3.5 hour sock as much as I would mind doing like a 3.5 month sock. Which is what it takes some people to hand knit socks, I've heard. But even if it was like days, even if it was like a 3-day sock, I'd be a little reluctant to redo it. Okay, that is 100 rows. Now it's time for more decreases, and I'm gonna do them a little differently. Normally you use this tool with it has 3 little prongs on the end, and you would take 3 stitches and move them over 1. So there would be like a column of no decreases. But this time, I'm going to not do that. I'm going to move 2 stitches so that there's decreases right next to each other. And see what happens. Since this sock might be a disaster anyway, might as well experiment. And we're doing the bottom bed, so I'll just nudge all of those forward. And I'm pretty sure you decrease every round on these. Again, I'm probably unraveling this sock, so it doesn't super matter. And I just have to do this until I have like, I don't know, like 10, 12 stitches left. And then I can take the whole thing off on waste yarn, try the sock on if I want, which I'm going to have to do. I have to see if the heel modifications worked out. I have to see if I like the way the toe feels. So, we're in the home stretch. There's only maybe like 10, 15 minutes left until this sock is off the machine. At which point, I might end stream, because I don't know what I'm going to do to fix this sock yet. I have to see when it comes off. If it's going to be an easy fix, maybe I'll just redo it on stream, but I might not do that until tomorrow or another day, because it's been a lot just getting my laptop set up. It really fought me every step of the way. And my second cam isn't working. Yeah, I'd like to fix the technical problems. So, this will probably be a 1 sock stream. But next time, hopefully a pair. Fingers crossed. I also don't know if this is going to be long enough. The sock, I mean. Because last time I did 100 rows for the foot, I did a short row toe. This is not a short row toe. It's a really pretty yarn, though. I like the way that this one came out. This was an accident. The yarn was supposed to be like blue to yellow, with a big green section in the middle, and it ended up like purple and green only all over. Ugh, I've got to redo that row. is no big deal, but I do have to redo it. Just because I forgot to double check that my needles were out of work. They were not out of work. They were in fact in work, which is bad. Okay. I already did my decreases, I think. So we should be good. Make sure the needles are out of work this time. We're down to 20 stitches per bed. We're getting there. The original instructions that I found for this type of toe said to go until you have 14 on each bed, but I didn't really like that. It was a little wide for me. So I think I'm gonna go until, I don't know, 12? We'll see. And hopefully it'll be a long enough toe for my foot, because I forgot that the wedge toe, which this is a wedge toe, is a little bit shorter than the short row toes that I've gotten off of the machine. That's 14. So we're now at 14 stitches on each bed. So I've got to do like 4 more rows so that I've got 2 decreases on each bed. I want to do, I have a lace cardigan planned for the machine that I would like to stream, because that's going to be a long project. This sock and whatever socks I do next really will just be like test streams to make sure that everything is working and I've got a setup that works for me. But you'll actually be able to see what's happening when I do the cardigan. Or I also have a sweater that I have to do. Oh, and it looks like I actually went down to 10. That's okay. 10 stitches is fine by me for a sock that's probably getting unraveled. Now I get to do waste yarn, take the whole thing off, and we get to see the sock. Oh dear, my yarn is stuck in the ribber arm somehow. Come on. Come on. Okay, there it goes. Oh, Jesus. Not sure where that was, which is awesome. I've just ruined the shot. But let's get this thing off of here. I've got to have a little ball of waste yarn somewhere. This one's pretty small. This one might be too small. I'll make it work. No, I can't make that work. That's not enough. please go in between the beds. That's like one of the hardest parts of machine knitting, is getting the damn yarn to go down in between the main bed and the river. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that before you buy a knitting machine. I'm going to go up a couple tension numbers for my waste yarn. For no reason, really. I just like to. Oh, jeez, it's knitting so bad. It really needs to get cleaned. And oiled. Which I'll have to do before the next sock and the next stream. Hopefully next time it'll be a full pair. But I'm just doing this one today. Because it's already been an ordeal and a half. My yarn is tangled. And there's no reason that you need that many rows of waste yarn. I mostly just did them because I don't like to cut my waste yarn. Once I have a couple of chunks that are sizes I use a lot, I try to keep them that size so that I can keep reusing them. Because I'm not made of money. Like, my waste yarn is from the Dollar Tree, but I still don't want to be wasting it, ironically. I also have a hat that I'm supposed to knit that I think... yeah, I'm gonna have to knit that. No, I'll need the river. So you won't be able to see that well either, if I end up streaming it. But it's time for sock. So that's exciting. Oh yeah. Yeah, I much prefer the style of decrease on the toe on this one. So we've got a sock. It's a little hard to see on camera because this camera is kind of bad. But here's the heel flap, which, yeah, it looks like I could have picked up those stitches a little better. There's like a weird gap. Oh yeah, that's where I ran out of space. It's not as bad on, it's a little bad on this side. I'm definitely gonna have to sew. It's hard to see, but there's a weird little bump here. Little point. That's where I couldn't pick up all of my gusset stitches. I think that's where I messed up my decreases, which doesn't even show up on camera. But the toe decreases make this like nice ridge, and this is waste yarn, so try and ignore the green. But that's the toe. And then you just have to sew up the cuff. And you would have a sock, but I'm going to have to try this bad boy on, and I don't think it's long enough. That looks like it needs to be 10 to 20 rows longer, which, based on my math, would make sense. So, this one's a test sock. It's a test stream. Next time, hopefully, everything will go according to plan, and I can make a pair of socks. I have a bunch of yarn waiting to be knit into socks. Let's show off some of these. I've got 2 of these that are a sort of like purple to green gradient with like a brown in the middle. And I've got 2 of these, which the color is not showing up well on camera at all. This end is orange, and this end is blue. They're nice, like, coppery colors. I've got a speckled gradient, which, again, not showing up well on this camera. I wish my phone was working as a second cam, because it's much better quality. I'd be able to show you these much easier. And I've also got this, which is a rainbow tie-dye sort of situation. That is going to be a pair of socks for my mom, because she dyed that yarn. And I think that's all that I have dyed at the moment. I've got some more stuff ready to get dyed. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if by the next time I stream, I have more yarn ready to go. Because I dye yarn way more often than I make socks. But that's gonna be... That was sock. We knit at least one sock. We did it. I can't say that it's gonna stay a sock. It's probably gonna get unraveled in the next 10 to 20 minutes. But that's all I really have for now. Next time, a pair for sure. I promise. Maybe. Don't hold me to that. Okay. Bye-bye.